Good morning, Top Fan Rivalry supporters, and happy Monday. You are listening to American League with Ashley and Bill. And this morning we have a special guest. Please welcome Kenna. She's our favorite Astros fan. So today
Yes.
we're gonna be talking a little bit about what's happening around baseball, and then we are going to be talking Astros with Kenna. So I'm gonna let Bill go ahead and take it away.
All right. Before we get started with our we need to thank our corporate sponsors. I got to tell you, being a small business, it's always great to have good people around you. Last weekend, we had a tremendous event at Ruby's Diner in Laguna Beach, and they are one of our sponsors. So we want to thank Ruby's Diner. The clothing line Drunken Gentleman, Josh was at the event. He was also at the cornhole tournament that we did, and it was absolutely fantastic to have him around. Want to thank him. We also want to thank Dunkin' Donuts in Southern California for being a sponsor. So without you guys, Top Fan Rivalry just doesn't keep going forward. So we appreciate everything that they're doing, and we look forward to having more of them on. So let's talk some baseball now, right, ladies? I mean, Kenna, are you ready to talk some baseball?
I am.
Is there any? Are you a baseball fan?
I'd like to say so.
All right, I'm just making sure. I mean, it is a baseball podcast, I guess. I mean, it is good that we have you on Monday, right?
Yep.
All right, good. A Ashley, it's amazing what Mondays are like, right? Don't you just love Mondays?
I don't love I mean, I look forward to doing the podcast, but I do not look forward to Mondays ever.
There you go.
I'm just like, I'm tired all day long on Mondays. So,
That I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So what's going on around the American League so far? We've got our first games in. What's going on, ladies? Let's talk.
well, the Yankees have rolled back their facial hair policy, which is crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I just felt like they would continue to be stubborn. But they must have looked at how great Glaber looks with a beard. Since he gained so much aura since he's been in Detroit. Um, but if I'm Devin Williams, I'm really mad that I shaved. Like,
Uh,
you guys owe me a car or something for making me shave my face. Did you see Juan Soto bought who was it? He bought somebody a car
yeah,
for giving him the
Brett
number
Beatty.
20. Brett Beatty, yeah.
Yeah, he took his number, so he's like, "Here's a card." Right?
Yes.
A la Shohei, right? Shohei did that for Joe Kelly.
Oh, I didn't know.
Actually, Shohei
Mhm.
did that for Joe Kelly's wife.
Yep.
That's
Not at
nice.
all awkward.
So how do we feel about the facial hair policy?
I think it's cool to see. I mean, I personally feel like they were never going to roll that back because that's been a policy since the 70s. So we've 50 years into baseball, and all of a sudden the Yankees can have facial hair. I feel like a lot of people are going to be mad. A lot of Yankees fans and players are probably like, "What in the world? Like, you guys have had this policy for so long." But I think I feel like I shouldn't say this because I hate the Yankees. I feel like one person that probably will win the Cy Young now is Garrett Cole because when he was with the Astros, he had that huge, all that facial hair going on, and we saw the way he pitched with us, so. Maybe the
True.
facial hair will be good for him.
They did say I think it has to be well groomed or something like that.
Yeah,
Which I don't know if his was. I don't really remember what it looked like, but so what they mean to say is like no Duck Dynasty beards.
Yeah, no.
yeah. No Johnny Damon when he was auditioning for Duck Dynasty when he played for Boston, I guess.
Listen, when we loved Johnny Damon when he was the Tiger.
Most people
We've
do.
had we've had really good luck with former Yankees, so I'm excited to have Glaber and Tommy Canley this year.
Yeah. This facial hair policy thing, I don't know. I when I played, I always shaved because when you go a couple of days without shaving, it starts to kind of itch, and especially when you're sweaty. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see Aaron Judge with the big old beard and Alex Verdugo, or something like that. I liked it, but the Yankees are still going to lose in the World Series to the Dodgers, so it won't matter.
Alex Verdugo's not even a Yankee anymore.
No, he's
Where did
not.
where did he sign? I forget.
I don't think he's signed. Did he sign?
I think he's a free agent
Okay.
still.
The
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that he signed anywhere.
I've got a great story about him offline. I would tell both of you, but not online, just in case Alex listens to this.
But
All
yeah,
right.
I don't know. The going back to the facial hair policy, I feel like the only people mad about it are like old grouchy crack of the bat guys. But everybody that I've seen, most Yankees fans, I follow a lot of Yankees fans on Twitter. Shout out to them. I think they're great. Um, Everybody that I've seen is pretty happy about it. I actually have a bet going now with two Yankees fans, that Jackson Jobe is going to win Rookie of the Year over Jason Dominguez. So if Jason Dominguez wins, I owe them each 2 drinks apiece.
Mhm.
But if Jackson Jobe wins, they both owe me 2 drinks. So I get 4 drinks.
Well, that's great for your liver. Um,
Yeah.
the and what
Well, they
happens
don't
if
all have to be in one night.
so many jokes come to mind? He said, "You're gonna buy. That's all right. We'll just take care of it right now. Let's go. Why do we have to worry about coming back?"
Well, it's a fun bet. But going back to Jackson Jobe, he actually added 2 new pitches. So the league is in trouble. I don't know if you saw my tweet yesterday about his curveball. He added, I think it's like an 85 mile per hour curveball. Um, it looked really good in his bullpen session with WRX. And then he added a 100 mile sinker, just casually threw that in his arsenal. So I think everybody's in big trouble now.
I hope so. It's good for the Tigers. It's good for baseball when the Tigers are good, right? The
Mhm.
Tigers had a long historic run, and they've had some runs in the early 2000s. It would be nice to get them back to being good again. So,
Well, we tend to have a history of good luck with top prospect, top pitching prospects. So I'm confident.
all right. So the Kenna's over here going, okay, I thought I was going to be able to talk about the Astros here. She's, hold on a second. Kenna, wake up. Those of you that are listening to this can know that you don't know that, but those of you watching YouTube know that I'm joking. Okay, Kenna, you're an Astros fan. Okay, let's
Mhm.
talk about that. I know how that happened and how that started, but talk to me about being an Astros fan, or talk to Ashley about being an Astros fan on a Monday morning.
So for everyone that doesn't know, I'm an Astros fan because of my dad. My dad is from Houston, but he grew up in San Antonio, going back and forth. So my dad did grow up with the Colt 45s, which later became the Astros. So he got to experience the Astrodome, and he got to experience Minute Maid, but now it's Stankin Park, aka the Ice Box, but I'm still going to refer to it as the Juice Box for a very long time.
Nope.
Um, we've had a great last few years of a run. I mean, in my opinion, this offseason kind of I've been very upset at times. I think the trade for Tucker, I understand it to a certain extent because I understand he was going to ask for 300 million or more and we're not going to fork that out more than likely. Presley, I knew that was coming from the end of the season. I knew we were going to trade Presley, but the thing that broke my heart the most was Bregman because I was actually laying in my bed. My roommate had just fallen asleep and I wasn't on my phone for like 30 minutes. I was watching TV and my boyfriend's laying next to me and I went to commercial and I was like, "Oh, I haven't checked my phone." And the first tweet on my phone says, "Who's Alex Bregman anyway?" And I opened it up and I saw the tweet that Rosenthal tweeted that Bregman went to the Red Sox. It was a automatic tears down my face, couldn't
Oh,
stop. I tried calling my dad, he wasn't picking up. I was very upset, but I still have hope in my team. I still think that we're going to make the playoffs. I think that we're going to be a top 5 team in baseball, but we'll see what happens. I have confidence in my team and I'm not giving up quite yet.
You know who I'm excited to see this year is Hunter Brown. I feel
Yep.
like he's going to be really, really good this year. I shouldn't say this on air, but I'm thinking about drafting him for my fantasy team. I just joined a fantasy league, so hopefully nobody who I'm in a league with is listening to this because I don't want them to take my ideas. Um, but yeah, he was one of my little sleeper picks I was thinking of for this year.
He's a very, very nice man, I will say that.
Oh, okay. Good pitcher. What was
Very.
Ashley, come.
I'm trying to find if I can find the picture of when I met him a couple years ago. I will say, one person that I'm excited to see, which I feel like I shouldn't say this because I feel like I bank on him every year to play, Lance McCullers. I want him to have a huge comeback this season, but I don't
what do
want to.
you what does you guys' rotation look like this year? Like, do you know approximately like
So we won't get Javi back probably until after the All-Star break, mid-July, because he had Tommy John last year. So as of right now, it's probably Fromber will be our number one. He'll probably be the opening day starter. Lance, if he's back by then, but a lot of people are saying not to bank on it. Brown. Who else do we have? I'm like drawing a blank. The guy we just got from the Cubs as well. We just traded for him. Bill, what are you doing? Thanks. Eric Eddy will be back. I think, I don't know. I think that there's definitely some work we can still do pitching wise, but I guess we'll see what happens. I don't want Whitley to come up, I will say that. I'm not a big Forrest Whitley fan for many reasons that I can't say online because it's personal.
Oh, okay. So you can tell us about it after.
Yes, I will tell you too about it after.
Spencer
Okay, well,
Argetti.
Spencer
What do you,
Arrighetti.
yeah. I think Dave calls him spaghetti.
Yep.
Um, what do you think of this guy?
I like him. I thought he had a great season with us last year. I know he started out really rough the first 5 or 6 games, but once he started getting the hang of things, he was lights out. But I think he'll definitely be in the rotation for sure.
that's good to know. That's my goal this year is to pay more attention to, I mean, obviously I'm on this podcast, so I have to pay more attention to the American League, but there are, for some reason, the only AL West team that I really pay attention to is the Mariners, just because I love their pitching. I have friends who are Mariners fans. Um, but I want to become more familiar, you know, with all of the rotations around the league because I feel like that's important. So that's good to know. Okay, you're going to be my Astros informant. Um,
And there you go.
what
There's me and JP France. I can't find my Hunter Brown one, but I'm relying on him to do some good stuff this
You
year.
looked so happy in
you?
that picture. You were like, JP, what's happening, JP?
No, I literally was like, JP, one picture, please. And he was like, you know what? Yeah.
Aw, that's always nice.
Yep.
So what do you feel like you guys' strengths are this year, and what do you feel like your weaknesses are?
Weakness, I'm gonna say pitching and probably outfield depth. I mean, the outfield is definitely a little weak, so I'm not gonna rely too much on the outfield doing too good, but
And
we'll
isn't
see.
Altuve, he's been taking kind of reps out in left field,
I've been
right?
up to it
What's
on that
what's up
this.
with that?
So, in order to keep Bregman, this is a week before Altuve proposed the idea that he would move to left in order to keep Bregman because we just traded for the Cubs' top prospect, who's a third baseman. So, Bregman, when he was at LSU, played shortstop and a little bit of second baseman. So they were going to shift Bregman to short, Pena to second, and then bring up the guy we just got from the trade. And Altuve would be getting reps in left. He's been taking reps all of spring training, and he's doing good, but I think he needs to stay at second. But I'm all for trying new things. I'm not gonna, as much as I think it's a little, I'm like, ooh, I think you gotta try it at least. He's not gonna rob any home runs. He's only 5'4", but
That's
I
standing
don't
on a
know.
box.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm an inch taller than him, so.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
what though? I do think it's important, like a team guy that's like, I'll do whatever I have to do for my team to win. So respect to Altuve for
I
doing that.
know a lot of people hate him. I know he's probably, if not the most hated person in the league, but he is willing
No. No, Carlos Correa.
Hey, I'm a Correa fan still.
That's your fault.
I know. Altuve is just the good team guy. I mean, if you know the story about the MLB scouting, you know that they told him not to come back for the Astros, and you know what he did? He came back and they took him. But definitely our strength, I'm gonna probably say bullpen depth, Hater, Abreu. You got those late inning guys, and I think that our pitch, I know that our starting five is a little shaky right now because we don't have a few guys due to injuries coming back. They should be back in July, but I think that I don't really see a weakness. I think we're still going to be a top five team in MLB. I think that we have a shot making a great playoff run, but we'll see what happens.
Do you think you guys win the West?
Yes. As much
Okay.
as look, the Mariners all around have a better rotation than us. They have the better lineup, but they're known to injuries early in the season. I think that we will win the West.
I think the Mariners, how they do is going to depend a lot on, this might be a hot take, but people who aren't Julio, because I feel like so much rests on Julio's shoulders. He's so young. He's such a good player. I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. But he had kind of not the best year last year. I feel like he'll come back and have a good season. I feel like Julio's good enough. He's going to make those adjustments. He's going to do it. The league adjusted to him. Now he's got to adjust back to the league. But I think it depends on the rest of their lineup too. Like Victor Robles started to get hot at the end of last year. I think actually a lot of them started to get hot when Edgar Martinez took over as hitting coach, which I don't know if, that had anything to do with it. I don't know if that's what it was, but I feel like it's going to depend on them. And if they can't hit, they're not going to make the playoffs
Yep, absolutely.
because that's what happened. They had what, like a 10-game lead that they blew in the AOS last year?
We're up by 15, 16 games, and then we came in and all of a sudden woke up.
Yeah. And their rotation is great, obviously. Like their rotation is great. Like, for God's sake, their fifth starter almost no hit the Padres last year. Their rotation is great. But um, yeah, I don't know. It's a toss up. It'll be interesting.
Yep.
What about the Rangers? How do you feel about the Rangers?
I don't know how you go from winning a World Series to the next season completely falling apart as a team. I just don't. I'm not a big Rangers fan just because I like the Astros better, but
Oh,
I feel like every year I look forward to watching on TV the Lone Star series. So, but
The boot series.
yep, but
Yep.
I think the Astros are the best team in Texas. So,
Maybe the University of Houston. No. Okay, so I got a question for you, Kenna. I love your analysis, but I got a question for you.
Mhm.
Ashley has already confessed to a grave sin in Tigers land. She has already said that the Tigers will be starting out 0-3 this season because of who they start the season with.
I never said
Um,
that.
well, at least that's what I heard that she had said, trying to get
Who
it
told you
confirmed.
that, Bill? Who's your source?
Miguel Cabrera,
I don't know him.
he said that he talked to you about it. You said, and Peter Gammons, but I'm not going to keep naming names here. You start out against the Mets. How do you feel about starting out with a team like the Mets? You start at the ice box, so does that help you? How do you feel about a series against the Mets?
I feel like having home field advantage the first series of the season definitely gives any team advantage, not even us. I feel like every team, you're going to have the crowd, you're going to have anyone and everyone you need there. You're going to have the loud fans, you're going to have fans from both sides. I feel like I will say it's going to be very cool that we get to see Soto debut as a Met in Houston, but I think that we will finish that series 2-1.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we'll play the Mets in the 27 World Series and win in 7 games.
The 27, 28 World Series. The
Mm,
25, 26, and 27 are already locked up.
no.
That's crazy because I was thinking the Tigers would make it to the 27 World Series. Maybe
The 20,
we'll have another last year's wild card rematch in 2027 in the ALCS.
Maybe.
here,
You'll see it again this year in the wild card.
Yeah, we might. I don't know. I don't know. I had us winning the division if we got another bat, and we didn't get another bat. So I think our season depends heavily upon our rookies,
Yep.
upon our rookies and our sophomores. So I don't know what to expect.
I
Offensive.
will say this, not Ashley, this is not shots fired at all, but everyone goes through a sophomore slump, so I wouldn't rely too much on your sophomores.
Well, Spencer
not shots
Torkelson
fired.
already happened with him. I feel like a lot honestly hinges upon him too, because if he's good and he earns his spot on the team, then we gotta kind of make some changes in our infield. Because
Mhm.
now we have Colt Keith, we have Glaber, we have a couple infield prospects, we have Young. It's a very crowded infield, and I think we have a lot of guys fighting for spots.
Mhm.
Um, but if you hit, you're gonna play.
Yep.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. The now here's my final question for you. I so I looked it up while we were discussing this here, and it looks like the Astros host the Detroit Tigers the 28th through 30th of April, and then they go to Detroit the 18th through 20th of August. So I'm wondering if we should, Ashley, if we should have Kenna back on the 5th of May and maybe even the 25th of August. And I think we should have some type of friendly wager, whether it's, saying like go Tigers or go Astros or something for whoever takes each series. I think that would be fun. What do you
Yeah,
guys
that
think?
would be a fun one. I would love that.
I will say the August one, the 25th, I will be in Baltimore for that series again.
Nice. Nice. We have to go live then.
I will.
That would be awesome. Yes, gosh, I need to get out to Baltimore again
Yes,
and
please come
hang out
out to
with you
Baltimore.
and Aiden and others. That'd be fun.
It's a fun series every year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, what happens when you don't want either team to win? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. A Ashley, what else do you got for Kenna? Kenna's a fun guest. She knows her Astros stuff, so I like this. But what else do we got for
Um, I think I'm out of questions, Bill. Do you have any?
her? Sure. Okay, so I'll end on this. Kenna, there's two teams in the American League that you just do not want to face because you don't think the Astros, whether they're sneaky good, whether they just play you rough, whatever it is. And there's two teams that you wish that you could build your entire schedule around, like because you always manhandle those two teams. What are those two teams?
The two teams that I don't ever want to play as of right now, if we're looking into this season, I'm not really looking forward to the Yankees, just because I feel like it either goes both ways and we started last season swept by the Yankees. And the other team, this is definitely going to be a little controversial. I don't want to play the Orioles. As much
Okay.
as I love going to that series, I feel like when it's in Houston, when we were in Houston last year, we swept the Orioles in four, but when we went to Baltimore last August, we split it 2-2. I feel like both teams in some categories were evenly matched up, and then other categories, it's Orioles lead one way, so they feed into our weaknesses and we feed into their weaknesses most of the time. Two teams that I wish that we could build our schedule around is the A's and the Angels.
Everybody picking on the A's and the Angels.
Sorry, guys, but it's something every time we play the A's and the Angels. It's always in our favor.
Yes. Yes. Interesting. Ashley, what would be your teams? I've never asked you this question, Ashley. What would
Yeah, no,
be
you haven't. I was just
your two
thinking
teams in
about
it?
that. Um, so I'll tell you the team I don't want to face is Cleveland. Um, and I feel like they always get the bloop hits, right? Like the BABIP gods just bless them. It's always some sort of cheap hit. It's Stephen Kwan's doing something. Um, but I am happy that they are without Josh Naylor this year. He went over to the Diamondbacks, so now I can root for him. I'm rooting for Josh Naylor. I hope he does well with them. But yeah, Cleveland, I just feel like didn't really go. Yeah, I'm a Diamondbacks fan, so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Um,
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Um, let me think. I can't even think of offhand the teams that I want to face. I'm trying to think of who did we do really well against. I mean, we did well against the Astros on the wild card, so no, just kidding. No,
Kenna's like,
no
okay, maybe
shots
there are
fired.
little shots fired.
No shots fired at Kenna.
I feel
Um,
like you could say the Twins because I feel like y'all did really well against the Twins last season.
we did, yeah, we did do pretty well against the Twins last season. Um, the Twins are they're a confusing team because they have some good players. I know they have a couple players who I think are going to have big years this year. I think Brooks Lee's going to have a good year this year. Um, his scouting reports are really, really good. And I know he came up last year and he didn't do great. I don't remember if he was injured or what happened. Um, but I'm interested to see how the Twins do this year because they had that collapse at the end of last year. And it wasn't pretty. Um, so yeah, I'd have to think more about that. Honestly, I'd have to, because now like my memory of last year is kind of getting a little fuzzy because I've been so researching, prospects and what's to come for this year.
If I got asked that same question, ladies, it's really, really simple. For some reason, every single year, Colorado is terrible, but half of their wins are against us.
Yep.
They play the Dodgers really, really well. I do not know why. Arizona also plays the Dodgers really, really well, and it drives me crazy. Even in the years that the Diamondbacks were terrible, which they're not going to be terrible this season, even in the years that they were terrible, they still played the Dodgers very, very well. If you told me two teams that I would love to play on a consistent basis, I would love to probably play the Marlins because we seem to always take care of business with the Marlins. And believe it or not, and this it has nothing to do. Uh, this has nothing to do with anything to anything to anything. But I like playing the Astros because of that crazy
I thought we were
rivalry that
doing
got
NL
started.
teams.
No, 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 no. If I could build my schedule around it, I would love to build a schedule around the Astros as well because I would love to just have that. It gets crazy, all the basketball stuff and everything. So I, yeah. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about the National League. We're not talking about the 2025 World Champion Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Diamondbacks are going to be a good team this year, so I'm excited to watch the series with you guys. They got a lot
Um,
better. They got Corbin Burns now. They got two aces.
yeah, they lost Christian Walker
To the Astros.
to the Astros,
They lost
which I'm
Christian
okay with
Walker.
because he was a Dodger killer. That guy would hit all 35 of his home runs against the Dodgers. So I'm totally okay with that.
New
Neither with that.
rivalries will be created. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Josh Naylor will kill you guys just the way he killed us.
Good
So will
thing I'm
Corbin Burns.
it's a good thing that I'm very, very forgiving on Mondays. If this were Friday, I would be going crazy. But on Mondays, I'm very, very, very merciful for that comment. Kenna, I won't even throw shots at, the Tigers, right? I won't even say stuff like the best team that they put together was starring Billy Chappell, right? I won't even talk about,
Kenna and I weren't even born when that happened. So
No.
you sure?
I don't think so.
Neither one of you has seen For Love of the Game?
I
No.
have seen that.
Billy Chappell throws the perfect game against the Yankees. Kevin Costner.
I don't think I was alive for that.
The, mo-
I'm not a movie person, so I don't know what we're talking
the
about.
movie came out in 1999.
Well, I've seen the movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
I've never
It's
seen
getting
it.
even better. Mondays with Ashley and Kenna. It doesn't get any better.
No.
Next week will be movie trivia.
I
You
think
know,
I would ace some movie trivia.
You should do that in 2 weeks, or the week that I will not be here. You can do movie trivia.
yeah, maybe we'll get you on. We'll have Ashley. We'll have like a little setup for like Ashley's not here, but we'll do like movie trivia.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah. So you'd be like Monica on the movie trivia, and she would be like Rachel. Chandler Mong. I
I'm
knew it.
actually, it's funny that you say that because I'm watching Friends right now.
There you go. There
I've
you
never
go.
seen Friends.
Oh,
You are missing out. You have to watch it. Best show ever.
I've
oh,
never seen Friends.
oh boy. Anyways, everybody, for your Mondays, we got to get going. We got to get you back to doing whatever you're doing. Ashley, what else do we need to talk about as we wrap up?
I don't know. You made me do the intro, Bill. You got to do the outro.
Okay. Well, then I want to give much love to my good friend Kenna, who is amazing Astros fan. She is so much fun because she not only knows her team, but she can take it and give it right back. So I love that about Kenna. Thank you so much for joining American League with Ashley. And Ashley allows me just to kind of tag around. I sit here and try to make a few jokes and throw something. But anyways, loved having you on. We need to get you on again.
We need to get
Maybe
Kenna
we'll
on
get you,
more often. Yes.
yeah, maybe we'll get you on for sure. We'll get you on after those two series with
Yep.
the Astros. So that'll be fun.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
Of
Have a
course. Thank
great,
you for coming on.
Of course.
yes, thank you. Have a great one all. We will talk to you next Monday.
Bye, guys.